The previous scheduled program has been replaced with something better for your viewing pleasure. Previously planned to show the Judge Simpson landlord-tenant debacle that happened today, but everybody and their brothers on top of that, so I decided to shift gears and have some other stuff from some other courts, so everybody hasn't seen the same thing all day, because I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen. Lies were falling apart all over the court community today, and ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see some of them fall apart right now. This one's for Rhonda.
So, what's your name up at Nisqually up or at the Thurston County there in the dark blue shirt?
Jesse Fox.
And Ms. Myers, are you here for Mr. Fox?
I am, Your Honor. We have filed a motion for furlough.
Just a second. My computer's being slow here. Mr. Libby, did you get a chance to review the Weston? Sorry.
Yeah,
I know who you are.
currently reviewing it right now, Your Honor.
Okay.
You want me to respond, Your Honor?
Well, he's got some warrants.
Yes, Your Honor. And just to clarify, those warrants were because prior to him being in custody at Thurston County, he was in Pierce County and was brought down here subsequent to that. One of them being the Pierce County warrant. I believe what had happened is he was released, was taken back into custody, got PR'd, transferred down here, and then had a failure to report from Pierce County because he's been in custody in Thurston County Corrections.
When was he booked here?
Your Honor, it's been over a month. Off the top of my head, I don't have it written in my notes. If you can give me one moment.
The 3rd of last month. Yeah, he was heard in court on November 4th. So,
Okay. So when do you want to, what's your position on the request for a furlough?
Your Honor, the state would object for, I guess, 2 reasons. First, looking at Mr. Fox's criminal history, he's had at least 4 prior DUIs. The last one from 2024, which was a felony. Additionally, there's numerous hit and run charges. There's there was a vehicular assault charge. I mean, Mr. Fox is a danger behind the wheel, regardless of whether it's he's intoxicated or not. Additionally, this specific case here that we're here for, he was on warrant status for some time. This case is old, 2022, I believe. Yeah, 2022. It's been around for some time. Like I said, we're on warrant status. So the state has concerns that whether he would reappear in front of this court again, and additionally, safety of the community.
Ms. Myers?
Thank you, Your Honor. I do have quite a bit to say. First and foremost, I just want to point out that addressing furlough requests is not governed by Criminal Rules of Limited Jurisdiction 3.2. The factors that Mr. Weston has laid out may be consideration, but it's not required to be considered. Those are primarily 3.2 factors. RCW 7266014 is the section of the furlough chapter that discusses ineligibility, and none of what was mentioned is mentioned in the ineligibility factors. The requirements that are present in the Criminal Rules of Limited Jurisdiction don't dictate whether or not he's qualified for this furlough. Outside of talking about the rules, I do think that it's important for us to address what brings Mr. Fox here today. Mr. Fox was sober for a resounding 9 years. He was strong in his sobriety, and he was supported by his friends and family, specifically his wife. Mr. Fox and I had over an hour-long conversation, a pretty emotional conversation. The reason for his relapse is that his wife went into the hospital for a standard procedure that is done multiple times daily at hospitals across the United States, and she did not make it out. His wife contributed much success to his sobriety, and when she passed away during an operation that should have gone off without a hitch, his whole world crashed before him. I don't find it necessary to go on the tangent where I normally diverge on here, that sobriety is not linear, but it isn't, and it's unpredictable, and relapses can be easily triggered. Mr. Fox experienced a significant loss, I think one that would knock the strongest man off their feet, and it was one that he was not expecting, one that he was not anticipating, one that his wife should have just returned home from the hospital that day and been in recovery. After relapse, Mr. Fox struggled to find his peace, let alone his sobriety, and then this is where we see the increase in his activity on his criminal record. In addition to what kind of triggered the response or triggered the relapse and why we're here today after 9 years, I do want to point out that Mr. Fox has had great success participating in different forms of treatment as well as programs in and out of custody. Mr. Fox was furloughed where he attended ABHS in Eastern Washington. And during the tenancy of that treatment, never did he once abscond. I think it's also important.
When was that?
That was, Your Honor, during, while he was in Pierce County, he was there for the beginning of the 28 days of the 7 months that he spent in custody.
I know, give me a date there. When was this, like a month ago or a couple of years ago, or what exactly?
This was, I think, the end of 2024.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, so he was taken from Pierce County Jail to ABHS in Spokane. He completed the 28 days, and while he was transported from Tacoma to Spokane by ABHS, they left Mr. Fox on his own to find a ride back. We're talking 245 miles between Tacoma and Spokane, where he was left to be able to turn himself back into the jail. He managed to make it happen. He found a way to get a plane ride from Spokane to Tacoma to turn himself in without even a single notice to the court of him being late.
So hang on just a second then. So did he go do the treatment, then go back in Tacoma for a number of months, then release from Tacoma to come here?
So, Your Honor, he returned to treatment, turned himself back in, was released from custody. He then, I believe,
And again, dates would be helpful here.
Mr. Fox, you have to help me out here.
They released me just a few days later. The plea agreement was made. They released me a few days later. That's when the relapse happened. And
Well,
and no,
relapse?
actually,
I'm not.
okay.
So he was sober.
We have DUIs and substance use charges that are fairly well spaced apart.
Yes.
So-
So he was sober from 2000 or to early 2010s to 2022 when his wife passed away. From there,
Okay.
he experienced a numerous amount of relapses. He was then taken into custody in Pierce County. He attended treatment. He was released and then experienced another relapse. And then subsequent to that was taken back into Pierce County, PR'd on a new law violation, released, but was, instead of being released into the public, he was released to Thurston County Correctional Facility due to the warrant on this case.
And previous to that, Thurston County had rejected taking me here when Pierce County released me after treatment. This county chose not to have me transported here until this time. And so this time you guys picked me up and I've been here since.
You know, I just heard from Ms. Myers there that you made your way from Spokane to Tacoma, which is 200 and some miles. Tacoma to Olympia is barely even 30. So let's not be blaming somebody else for not coming to get you when you could have presented yourself here.
No, I would never blame anyone else. I was just simply stating that that's not what I was trying to say. I apologize. I would never pass responsibility off to someone else, Your Honor.
Okay, so again, so how long did he serve in Pierce County before he came down here, before he was transferred down here?
7 months.
Okay, and then 7 months prior, so 7 months, that was a result of a relapse? He had to do 7 months? Or what?
Your Honor,
I'm confused by that.
The 7 months was his sentence on the Pierce County Superior Court case.
Okay, so again, that's what I'm getting at. So he went to treatment, came back, did 7 months. Then when the 7 months was over, he came down here.
No.
Is that true or not true? Do I got that messed up or no?
Mr. Fox, do you want to explain?
Yes, Your Honor. So the way that it happened was at the beginning. So in 2024, after the elude, I was in Pierce County. They sent me to rehab. I was released after not 28 days. I extended it for 2 weeks. And so it was roughly 47 days later, I was taken back to Pierce County. I was there for a total of 7 months, including the rehab. I was released in July, I believe, and
July of 2020. Hang on a second. Are we in 2025 now?
Yes, June or July of 2025. It was 7 months from October. So October 21st, I believe, is when I was booked in, and it was about 6.5 months later I was released. So whatever that calculates out to. Then at that time, they released me to the streets, and then I was picked up in Pierce County on the warrant. And
Well, why was there a warrant? That's
because I did not, in Pierce County, I wasn't aware that there was a review hearing or that I even had to show back up to court. So there was a review. When everything was explained in court, that's when they PR'd me, and they understood that, and they gave me 2 weeks to come up with proof of treatment and or whatever. Oh, I'm sorry, victims panel. And so at that time, I was transported here, and that was on the 3rd of last month, and now here we sit.
okay. So I'm struggling with the timeline. So you got out in June, as far as I can tell, from 2025. But then, and then what happened after that? So you're on the, you were out for a while. Then what happened?
So then an officer came up. I was homeless, and the officer came up and asked me if I knew that in Tacoma we're not allowed to start fires. And I said, yes, I'm aware of that. And so I didn't have a fire going. I wasn't really sure why they were telling us that, but she asked me for my name. I gave it to her. There was a warrant in Pierce County because I did not go to the review. They took me in to.
And when was that?
That was on the 21st of last month.
Okay. So they let you out in June, and then you just think you're done. And then all of a sudden in October, you have or November, contact with law enforcement. No, there's a warrant that you didn't know anything about.
Yes, that is correct. And so when they took me into court in Pierce County, I explained that, and they allowed me to speak as you are today. And I explained what happened. So they released me that day to be released again to come back in 2 weeks with proof, or I had 30 days, over my head for a violation.
I'm going to stop you there.
Okay.
Because I'm going to come back to Ms. Myers, because that's kind of what I was getting at. You know, if he went and did inpatient treatment, then came back, served his sentence, and then was out, and for unrelated reasons he's here, it's like, sounds like he did the treatment. Why does he need to go back and do that again? I mean, I didn't hear anything about a relapse in that intervening time.
He did relapse in that intervening time severely.
The day that I got out, it was a bad relapse, actually. But that's what happened.
When you were picked up there on this charge and bail was set by me, I mean, was there been any outreach to Pierce County about any of this? I mean, to let your attorney know, hey, I'm supposed to be in Pierce County on such and such a date. Was there any follow through on that? So it looks like you got a warrant out of Puyallup Muni also.
Yes, they're both actually. There was one out of Yakima, which is no longer there. I wrote all three, and
no, I'm talking about you. Did you discuss all this with Ms. Myers and let her know so she could reach out?
Yes, Your Honor, we have discussed it at length, and we've been trying to formulate plans. I've not been able to get in contact with his Pierce County attorney, but I'm still actively trying.
So given the age of the case, combined with warrant activity in other counties and the sequence of events regarding, in and out of custody in Pierce County, at this time, I'm not going to allow a furlough. And so the dates will remain. This case will proceed. This case just needs to go forward and resolve one way or the other. And if you can get some sort of resolution in place with these, because I think that's a no bail warrant. He has a no bail warrant out of Pierce County right now. And you can get some sort of resolution to those warrant activity and everybody's on the same page, then we can take another look at it. But given his history combined with the history of this case, I'm just not comfortable signing off on a furlough at this time, Ms. Myers. But it's denied without prejudice. If additional information comes up and you want to readdress it, you can. But I just think there's a little bit much going on right now to allow that.
Understood.
You can be taken back there, Mr. Fox.
That concludes my matters on today's calendar as well.
I'm sorry?
That concludes my matters on today's calendar.
Okay. You're free to go as well. Ms. Clark.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here with number 3 on the calendar, Mr. Evan Cochran, though he expressed a wish to go by Edgar, which is on his birth certificate. We're here for a warrant return, Your Honor.
Okay, and I had heard that about how he preferred to be addressed. So we're going to take care of the warrants. The warrant's been out in this case for a while. The charge is vehicle prowling, attempted vehicle prowling. And I'm going to hear from the state as to where we go from here. And then, Ms. Clark, I'll come to you.
Your Honor, the state would ask for a bail in the amount of that warrant that he was picked up on, which was $2,500. The basis is that this is a 2019 case. Warrant was out for some time. The warrant was issued earlier this year, March 12th. He was on the warrant FTA calendar back, 4 days ago. Sorry, never mind, Your Honor. Yeah, state would ask for bail in the amount of that warrant, $2,500.
Give me just a minute. My computer's being slow. Okay.
One more thing, Your Honor. It looks like the only reason he's actually here is because he was picked up on an Olympia charge too. So
That's right.
Yeah,
Is he being held on the Olympia charge?
Streets out here. That's for sure, wouldn't I?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Wouldn't hide. Really malicious, huh? Yeah.
So we need to reappoint Thurston County Public Defense in the first instance. We'll do that. So it looks like in the city of Olympia, he's being held without bail and a 1077 order had been signed. Did you see that there, Ms. Clark?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay. So bail becomes kind of a moot issue in that sense. So, but I'll hear from you.
Your Honor, for our case specifically, I'll be asking that the court just quash the warrant. Mr. Egger is transient. And when I was looking through JABS earlier for this case, I did see that the reason why he missed court last time was because the court received return mail, which means that the mailing address is incorrect. And no, he did have he did have paper from the court regarding his next court date. At that time, he misplaced the papers and was not able to get a hold. He does not have access to a phone. And so at this point, if he's already on hold from the city of Olympia, we just be asking that this court quash the warrant for this case.
I'm going to set bail the amount of $500 cash or bond so we can start getting credit. Looks like his next court date is in the city of Olympia is at December 18th.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I can set it right on the 1:30 calendar. That's a week from Thursday. I mean, I can do it a week from today if you think you can get up and speak with him, or do you want to wait to Olympia? I don't want to set it on the 18th because it'll have Olympia on that date, or I can set it any day of the week at 1:30 next week if you want. 17th, 16th.
Let's go for the 17th. I believe that will give I would give the attorney who's appointed to Mr. Egger's case time to speak with him.
And then let whoever that attorney is, let him or her know that there's a 1077 ordered out of the city of Olympia.
Will do, Your Honor.
And that's it for today. You can be taken back. We'll see you back here on the December 17th at 1:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. What's your name in the blue shirt up at Thurston County?
Sean Tiffany, sir.
And then Ms. Clark, are you on that case? Oh,
No,
Ms.
that's
Rowe
me,
is.
Your Honor.
You can stay seated, sir. So thank you for standing. So it looks like he Boy, these cases are still pre-trial. One of them's pre-trial from 2017.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Okay, let me
yes.
speak with the attorney.
Yes, Your Honor. These cases are old. One's a tracking 2016 and one's a 2017 case. I was able to speak with Mr. Tiffany earlier. He indicates that he was undergoing a move into a tiny home community. He lost his paperwork. He thought his next court date was not until December, but it was actually in October. So we are asking the court to quash the warrant and set these for future court dates. And
Has he
to
ever
allow
been
Mr.
here?
Tiffany to be released.
Has he ever been here, appeared on a case when he wasn't in custody? Because I don't see it. I'm going back to 2023.
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
I could not answer that question, Your Honor. The first court date that I had on this case was supposed to be October 8th. So what happened before then, I could not.
Well, it looks like on the case, the predisposition case, he was charged in October of 2017. Didn't appear. A warrant was issued. He was picked up in 2022, November of 2022. He was released. Didn't appear in January of 2023. A warrant was issued. And then actually a warrant wasn't issued then, but he wasn't appear. Even February of 2023 didn't appear. A warrant was issued.
COVID.
Picked up in August of 2025 and released. And then didn't appear on, so I don't see that he's ever appeared here.
I thought that was a done case, Your Honor. My son attacked me, and I assaulted him back after he hit me first. I thought that was over.
Mr. Tiffany?
So let me hear from Mr. Weston.
Your Honor, on the probation case ending in 158, the state would ask for a no bail hold. On the case ending in 233, the predisposition case, the state would be asking for a warrant in the amount of the bail, which was, I believe, $1,000 with all prior conditions. As you mentioned, he's failed to appear more than he's actually appeared. When he has appeared, it's been to quash the warrant. The court released him or PR'd him. He failed to appear at the next hearing. Additionally, my notes indicate in one of the cases that defense counsel, when they were appointed, struggled maintaining contact with the defendant here. And so the state has concerns about whether or not he's going to appear in the future when he has shown he won't.
I will. I promise. It made me homeless. Things are getting better, though.
Mr. And again, this,
I'll show.
Your Honor, now that Mr. Tiffany has some stable housing in a tiny home community, I'm asking that the court give him a chance to prove to the court that he will appear at a future hearing. I was not able to ask Mr. Tiffany if he has a phone number. Do you have a phone number, Mr. Tiffany?
It's through the Plum Street Village, downtown Olympia. I live right across from the police department. I don't know the number. It was in my wallet.
have you been living here this whole time?
So I haven't left Olympia.
Well, I'm sorry?
I've talked to many police officers. I have never left Olympia. I don't know why, though, this is happening now.
Well, you just had the bad luck that they identified a warrant. You have another warrant out of Grays Harbor County. You aware of that?
Well, I'm not aware of that at all. See, all these warrants are popping out, and they weren't supposed to even be happening. That was a long time ago, and what kind of hearing they talking about, I don't know, because I don't live there anymore. I haven't lived there
Well,
for...
It's post-disposition DUI warrant from 2013.
I don't know about what that is. I don't drink, so...
Well, this happened 12 years ago. And you don't need to drink to get a DUI. You can get a DUI in other ways.
I was speeding a car, and he pulled me over, but I wasn't drunk. I don't know what this is all about either. See, I don't know that. I'm having trouble understanding and it's confusing me, really. I'm not sure.
How long
what-
have you lived at the tiny home community?
Recently for a year, but I was living on the street for 2 years.
No, I know. I want to know how long you've been at the housing you're at now. You've been there a year?
Oh, not even a year, a couple months. I was living down on Percival Creek in Decatur Woods, and I was cleaning up the woods and everything out there. And Mr. Cooper, he owed me money, and he decided he wasn't going to pay me and kicked me out. So I was living behind the Napa for a while. I built a house and was living in it. And all the police officers know me and everything. They know me by name. They never indicated a warrant or anything. I was actually working with them.
How'd you get into the tiny homes?
I applied for it when they came through and started helping the crick. Decided that I needed to get more stable and start working and work on a real life for myself. And I applied and got a home. Now they're going to.
Do you have a phone number?
I don't. People keep stealing my phones. That's the problem with the homeless community. They like to steal your phones. But I live at the tiny home right by the police department, and I'm going to give the phone number to them.
Well, that won't help you because we're the county and they're the city.
Work on getting the phone. That is my next thing. I'm working. They're moving me to a better place to live. So things are starting.
Are you working now?
I'm working now. I work for a nice lady on the west side. She pays me well.
What do you do?
Landscaping, and I'm right now looking for other work because I'm trying to start a business. I haven't been sitting around being lazy. I've actually been working and trying. Everything keeps caving in on me. I don't know what to do. I'm starting to cave in myself, and I don't want to give up. I want to keep working, and I want to keep trying. The whole time through COVID and everything.
Give me a minute.
Write it down, Judge.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do here, Mr. Tiffany. I'll take you at your word that you're in the tiny home community. I'll take your word that you're moving up. I'm going to allow you, because I don't want to, you've been through a lot. Because one thing in your favor, the big thing in your favor, give me a minute. This was alleged to have happened back in 2017. There's really been nothing since. You've been 8 years out of trouble, as far as I can tell. And so I'm going to allow you to be released, but this is your only chance. Do you understand it? And I'm going to set you a court date right now, and I'm going to tell you when it is. And if you miss that court date, next time you're getting bailed. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And we'll hang on to you. And the court date's going to be soon, so you can keep track of it. Give me just a second.
I'll get a piece of paper. I'm going to write it down. I'll tattoo it on me if I had to.
No, you don't need to do that. And you'll get a piece of paper with the court date on it. Ms. Rowe, are you here on December 19th, a week from what, Friday?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Be at 10 a.m. on December 19th. Again, you missed that court date.
I understand, Judge. I do.
Then there's no more chances after this.
Mr. Tiffany, if you don't have a phone, you're going to need to appear in court at your next
Yeah,
court
probably a
date
good
in
idea.
person.
Good idea for you to appear anyway.
I will. I will.
Just be here.
Yeah, he's a brother. I have
Because
to.
if you're as familiar with the area as you say you are, you shouldn't have any trouble making it up to the courthouse.
Are you guys at the old house or the new one?
The old one up on the hill.
Okay.
That's 12/19 at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Yes.
12/19 at 10. Got it.
So the prosecutor is over here across the room from me thinking I'm making a mistake in doing this. So I'm going to rely on you to prove me right here.
Your Honor, because it's been so long, I'm not sure. I didn't review the docket, but
You're
I
still
would like,
listed on the, you're still listed as attorney of record on the calendar.
okay, what I would
We're
like the
sticking with
court
that.
to know, what I'd like the court to know is to note an affirmative defense of self-defense.
Okay, yeah, we could, all that can be handled at the pretrial. All we're doing today is at conditions.
Okay,
And that's a necessary, and again, I'm given the age of this case, I'm going to have it necessary that you be there. So Ms. Rowe, we're not going to accept the 3.4 appearance on this case. You understand that?
I will write it down. Yes, Your Honor.
I'll be there.
That's it
Mr.
for today, Mr. Tiffany. You can be taken back.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
You can thank me by showing up.
I will. Let Mr. Prosecutor know I'm not going to run away.
Okay, well, you
December
can let him know by
19th.
showing up.
December 19th, 10 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
You can be taken back.
Thank you.
And that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
The what now? At Thurston County, what's your name up there in the orange shirt?
This is Mr. William Keith, Your Honor.
Okay, he needs to be unmuted.
Mr. Keith, can you let the deputies know that you need to be unmuted?
Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you, CEO. I appreciate you. William Gordon.
Okay, so Mr. Keith, I'm just gonna have you, hold on for a minute. I'll come to you in a minute. And
Yes,
then
sir.
there's a Cindy Keith on there. Obviously, you're here for this case.
She is, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Say that? I know, that's what I was gonna find out. And then Ms. Cindy Keith, what's your relationship with Mr. Keith?
That would be my brother, Your Honor.
And then there's a Randy, is it Boucher or Boucher? How do I say your name?
Voucher.
Voucher. I was wrong on, I was 0 for 2.
That's okay.
What's your relationship with Mr. Keith?
He is my second runner.
Okay. So we're here. My understanding is he had pleaded guilty to a number of charges, and then we're here for sentencing here today.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm going to hear from the state, and then I'll hear from Ms. Clark, and then I'll get input from you folks as well here in just a moment. If you wish to give it, I may have some questions. And first thing I'm going to do is hear from Mr. Weston.
Yeah, give me one moment here. So, Your Honor, I guess starting with the case ending in 086, the DUI.
Can you guys hear him?
Yes, sir, I can.
No, I'm talking about Mr. Boucher and Ms. Keith.
Yes.
Great, but speak a little louder, please, anyway.
All right, sorry, Your Honor, I lost my voice completely yesterday, so it's just coming back. So case ending in 086, the DUI. The state has no objection to credit for time served. We would request that probation remain open for 5 years or 60 months with standard DUI conditions being imposed.
How much time has he been up there for?
I'd have to refer to defense counsel, but my understanding of the case was it was around 40 days.
He's been there for approximately 37 days, Your Honor, if we're counting all time spent on this case since September 2021.
Okay, so credit for time served and then other conditions on a DUI.
The standard DUI conditions, no bars or taverns, no alcohol or drugs, no driving without valid license or insurance, and all affirmatives, victim impact panel, substance use evaluation, and any follow-up treatment. In case ending in 479, the malicious mischief in the third degree, the state would just ask to close the case, credit for time served.
Closing
So
the
close it out.
malicious mischief. Credit for time served.
Okay,
Excuse me,
so,
Ms. Keith, you're unmuted.
Sorry.
yes, that's okay. Well, there'll be a time. So credit for time served and close the case out,
Correct, Your Honor.
and then hit and run and DWLS in the third.
The state would have the same request, credit for time served, to close those cases, where Mr. Keith would only be on probation for the DUI.
And then you're asking for a drug and alcohol evaluation compliant with what's recommended and a victim's impact panel as well.
Correct.
And then does this represent a first within 7?
This is, yes, Your Honor.
All right. And so, Ms. Clark, what's your position on,
Your Honor,
I'll
we
hear
would
from you.
echo.
Okay, so is this an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And so, Ms. Keith, Cindy Keith, you can come on the Zoom call here if you wish to.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm having
That's
internet.
okay. That's okay.
Yes,
Just
I'm
go ahead and
trying.
stay unmuted. You've already been on camera, so don't start okay, there you are. Okay. So do you have anything you wish to add? I'm going to hear from Ms. Boucher here in a minute also. I mean, he's been here a while. These cases are kind of old. What the state's recommending is basically him getting out here today, but he's going to need to get a drug and alcohol evaluation, comply whatever's recommended, attend a DUI victims impact panel, and kind of walk the straight and narrow here over for the next 5 years. And I guess you know him better than I. I mean, does he have a place to go, or does he because he's been up there for a while, or what exactly?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. To be honest, I haven't spoken with him in a couple years.
Well, thank you for being here today. If you don't mind I asking, I mean, how did you find out about this? I really do appreciate you being here. I think he does too. And I can tell this is significant to you as well. So again, do you have thoughts? And you don't have to. If you just say, no, I don't want to talk about it, that's fine too. You don't have to. But I'm going to ask similar set of questions there to Ms. Boucher.
I think that 41 days of sobriety is something that should be celebrated. And I'm really proud of him for being here.
Ms. Boucher, I'll hear from you. What are your thoughts on this?
Yes, Your Honor. My son, William, is a good man. He's a hard worker, and family is everything to him. The only problem he's ever had, because he has ADHD and a chronic pain disorder. Unfortunately, the medical system has let him down and got him addicted to pain medication. And so drug addiction and alcoholism have become an issue in his life. He fought it hard, and I believe he'll continue to fight it hard.
Okay. Well, I heard from his sister that, she'd been kind of out of contact with him for a while. What's your,
Your Honor, it's been about 6 months since I've heard of him, but I believe he's been building his life since then. He's very determined, and he does not want to be unsuccessful in society. He works very hard to accomplish the things that need to be accomplished. Unfortunately, sometimes pain gets in his way. And that's where his problem has lied.
okay.
But I believe he will continue to show up when he's supposed to show up. And I believe he will fight hard to meet all of his conditions, Your Honor.
All right. And then, okay, Well, I really appreciate you both being here, first of all. And I can tell this is quite emotional, obviously,
Yes, sir.
for you. How did you realize that this was on today, or how did you come to know about that? I'm kind of curious about that.
We're both registered to be notified if any of our family members become incarcerated. We
I
have,
see.
there has been issues in our family, and so we're all fighting hard to be productive members of society.
Well, thank you again. Thank you for being here. I'm going to
Yes,
speak
sir.
with William, and then I may come back and speak with you guys again here.
Okay.
Give me just a second here, William.
Yes, sir.
So what are your thoughts on all of this?
Well, sir, I've been in and out of the system for a while. I've been in this place for quite some time, and I've had more than enough time to reflect. I don't want you to think that I purposely got in trouble and was arrested. I want you to know I was picked up on warrants from many, many years ago, and I had already been here on those things, and I was under the impression that I took care of them years ago. Since then, I have been working. I've been working for Jason Skymax Tree Service. I've been working for Fred Holmes Tree Service. I've been working for Busy Bee Tree Service. I've been looking for employment. I've been working at 2 different restaurants, at Burger King and McDonald's. I've been doing my best to get housing. I've been doing my best to maintain stable housing, but because I don't have enough money yet, I've been staying with family. I was with my dad. He's got a little trailer in the driveway at his place he lets me stay at. It's
Okay, so I'm going to stop you there for a second. Where is that? Is that here in Olympia, or where exactly is that?
It's in Mason County, Your Honor.
All right.
It's about 15 minutes away.
All right.
If I may add, I also did 5 different moral recognition therapies from previous situations that I had from 2012. I attended chemical dependency treatment at St. Peter's Chemical Dependency and graduated. I attended moral recognition therapies with Laura Cole. I did parenting classes and graduated. I did domestic violence treatment with Sheila downtown. And graduated. I attended the behavioral health reservice treatment and graduated. And I also attended the outpatient treatment program and graduated at St. Pete's.
Okay. How long, your sister talked about a period of time. Well, here's what's going to happen here today, Mr. Keith. I'm going to go along with the recommendation, but there's some things that weren't mentioned that I'm going to add to it. With regard to the non-DUI case, it'll be 37 days credit, 37 days imposed, 37 credit. You'll be released on both of those. On the DUI, it'll be 364 days in jail with 327 suspended, credit for 37 days served, but you're going to be released on that as well. The conditions of the sentence are, these conditions will be in place for 5 years. Don't have any criminal law violations. Don't drive without license or insurance. Don't consume any alcohol or have any controlled substances out of valid prescription. Stay out of bars and taverns. Evaluation, comply whatever's recommended. Sounds like you've done a lot, and if they look at it and think, well, you've done enough and you don't need to do anything more, that's fine. But you're also going to have to do a DUI victims impact panel. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do understand that.
And here's the other thing that no one mentioned that I'm mentioning now. I'm going to put you, you're going to at least going to start on supervised probation, where you're going to have to report and you let folks know how you're doing. Do you on all these things? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do understand. Me and my attorney we had a conversation about that, and she asked me if I understood what that meant. And I told her that I'm going to make sure that I show up, or else I'm going to be right back here. And I know for a fact that I don't want to be here. I want to be with my family.
Well, that's your attorney knows what she's talking about. That's 100% correct. And so you need to report to there within 48 hours. There'll be a phone number on here, and you'll get released here later today. So I hope you appreciate that your family's here. I think it speaks well of them and of you. You know, Ms. Clark, myself, the prosecutor, we kind of maybe sometimes get a little jaded from time to time, but it's because people don't show up for their family. And so they really appreciate when you do. And so thank you, Ms. Keith, Ms. Boucher, for being here. Mr. Keith, I heard Ms. Keith say that she hadn't talked to you in a while. You should get in touch with her. And this is a means of support for you that a lot of other people don't have. And I would urge you to take advantage of it.
Yes, sir. I've just been working on taking care of my responsibilities. I've had to close out warrants everywhere I've been. So
Right.
like I previously told you, I've been here quite some time.
Speaking of which, you got a couple of warrants I want you to pay attention to. It looks like you have one out of Jefferson County District for an old title case, and then you have one from, it looks like Pacific Superior, or again, another old case from 20 to 21. So I would look into those two warrants.
Yes, sir. I've been working on everything, trying to move forward with my life. That is what I was speaking of. That's why it's taken me so long to take care of
All right.
this. I was under the impression I had already resolved it. I apologize. I will
Good
move
luck
forward
going
and make
forward. You'll get
progress.
released here later today. The future's in your hands. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll bring you back progress. I promise you that. I won't let you
All
down.
right. Ms. Keith, don't let yourself down. Ms. Keith, Ms. Boucher, thank you too for being here. You're free to go.
I love you, Cindy. I love you, Mom.
This is case number 25S01065FY, People State of Michigan versus Cortez Strickland.
Morning again, Your Honor. Courtney Rose on behalf of the family.
And Mitch Foster, Mr. Strickland.
Mr. Strickland, your name? All right, we have a preliminary examination continuation for 2 counts of home invasion, first degree. Mr. Strickland was a little late, so I have a meeting that I need to go to at noon. So, I'm going to try to get as much of this in as I can. But sir, you know. All right, so, mutual sequestration order in place still. So if there's anyone in the courtroom, which there really isn't, that's going to be testifying today or trial on either side for the prosecution or defense, please step outside. Don't discuss this matter. All right. And do we have any other preliminary matter? You're the first witness here, so you could stay. All right. Any other things?
Nothing from people.
Okay. All right. Anything from you?
No, thank you.
Okay. So we're going to call your next witness.
People call Officer Furlough. Dan?
All right, officer, come on up. Raise your right hand. Take an oath. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you very much. You can have a seat. And whenever you're ready, Ms. Rosna.
Morning, Officer. Would you please state and spell your name for the record?
Yes, it's Stephen Gagnon, Stephen. Last name is Gagnon.
Where do you work?
The City of Livonia Police Department.
What is your role at the City of Livonia Police Department?
During the time of this incident, I was assigned as a police officer to our Intelligence Bureau. And I've since been promoted, so I'm no longer in that role.
So in October of this year, you were assigned to that Intelligence Bureau?
Yes, I was.
Were you working in that capacity on October 15th of 2025?
I was, yes.
And what were you doing on that day?
On that date, we were conducting surveillance on individuals known to be involved, or an individual known to be involved in home invasion in the area.
What was the name of the suspect?
The suspect that we initially had information on at the time was Mr. Achille James.
And when you say we were conducting surveillance, who exactly is we?
That day it started out initially as myself, along with the other members of the Livonia Police Intelligence Bureau. And at one point during the surveillance and during our investigation, we ended up working in conjunction with the Southfield Police Department as well.
Okay. Were you able to make contact with Mr. James that day or observe him?
I was.
And was he with anyone?
He was.
Who was he with?
He was with the driver, the silver Chevrolet Equinox, who we later determined to be Mr. Cortez Strickland.
If you were to see Mr. Cortez Strickland again, would you recognize him?
I would.
Do you see him in the courtroom?
I do.
Would you please point to him and indicate the man on this podium?
Right here with the purple Nike jacket on.
May the record reflect the witness was identified the defendant.
So order.
So at some point during this surveillance, were you in the role considered the eye?
I was.
Okay, and at what point did you become the eye during the surveillance of Mr. James and Mr. Strickland?
At that point, we followed these gentlemen to a residence in Southfield. This was the second residence that we had seen them at that day, where we observed a crime. At this time, I exited my vehicle on foot, and in order to get an eye on the individuals in question, I walked on foot through the neighborhood.
Okay, let me just pause you right there.
Sure.
You indicated this was the second residence that the team had followed the defendant to.
Yes,
Did you see anything at the first residence yourself personally?
I did not.
Okay. The second residence, is that the one at 15687 Pennsylvania Street?
Yes, it is.
And that's in the city of Southfield?
Yes.
Would you just briefly describe the structure, the house there for me?
Sure, if I recall properly, it was a two-story residence with an attached garage.
Okay. And you indicated that the defendant and Mr. James were in a vehicle?
Yes.
Would you describe the vehicle?
Sure, it was a silver Chevrolet Equinox. There's no license plate affixed to the vehicle at the time. There was a sticker on the rear window of the vehicle that read EXP.
Where did the silver Equinox park in relation to the Pennsylvania Street address?
It parked directly next to the driveway of the residence in the street.
And did you see the vehicle when it first got to that address?
I did not.
At what point did you arrive and where did you stop your car?
I stopped my car just out of view on a side street. After another officer advised me that the vehicle was parked at that location.
Okay.
And that officer advised me that they had observed, who we knew at the time was Mr. James in the garage.
Object to what the other officer told me.
Not offering it for the truth of the matter asserted, Your Honor. It's clearly to lay a foundation for what this officer did next.
All right, then now we're ruled.
And so that's why I exited my vehicle so that we could continue to have a visual on these suspects at the time. So I exited my vehicle, walked through the neighborhood on foot. As I was walking through and approaching this residence that these gentlemen were parked in front of, I observed the silver Chevrolet Equinox to be parked out front next to the driveway. I observed.
Let me just pause you 1 second. Could you see anybody within the silver Chevrolet Equinox at that time?
I could. And again, just to reiterate, at the time, I wasn't sure of his identity.
Okay.
But later determined that it was Mr. Strickland who was in the driver's seat.
Okay. And then please continue with what you saw as you walked past.
So as I approached the residence, I observed Mr. Kelly James exit the open garage door carrying a chainsaw. I observed him go to the rear of the Chevrolet Equinox, which had the rear liftgate already open, and place the chainsaw in the rear liftgate. I then observed him go back into the garage, open garage door again, and then come out a second time with a weed whacker and what appeared to be some other miscellaneous small household goods, but I couldn't tell exactly what they were just from my angle.
Okay. How many times did you pass by the house?
On foot, I passed by the house just the one time, and then it was kind of funky walking in the neighborhood. I kind of had to like reposition a couple times to just continue to keep an eye. But
And was your perspective and your viewpoint, was that unobstructed when you saw Mr. James removing these items from the garage?
yes,
About how far away were you when you saw this?
I was probably about I would say maybe 20 yards initially from the actual suspect vehicle.
What happened after you saw Mr. James loading the items into the silver Equinox?
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. We have Colin Raiders. And for those of you who don't know, whenever there's a Colin raid, there's an obligatory Colin pause. And now it's over. Thank you. Welcome, Colin Raiders. Welcome, Colin. Thank y'all for coming by.
So after his second trip into the garage and loading the weed whacker and other various items into the car, I observed the vehicle drive away driven by Mr. Strickland. out of my view, where other officers were able to pick the vehicle up and maintain that close and constant surveillance.
And did you ever personally view any other activity that day by either Mr. Strickland or Mr. James?
Besides simply driving, I did not observe any other crimes take place with my own eyes. If that answers your question.
Okay, did you follow them to a different location?
We did.
Where did you follow them to next? Just you, not the team?
I did not just by myself follow them anywhere next.
Okay.
It was as a team.
Okay. Did you participate in the arrest of Mr. James and Mr. Strickland?
I did.
And where was that at?
That was at a location on Davison near Livernois.
How did you know to go to that location?
Just based on other officers within the surveillance, kind of directing me there, listening to the radio traffic, and things of that nature.
And then at what point did you arrive at Davidson and Livernois?
I arrived when Mr. James and Mr. Strickland had parked and they had exited the vehicle. I was kind of getting into the area at the same time.
What did you do once you arrived at that location?
Once I arrived, I sat in my car for a period of time until the arrest signal was given. And then all officers as a team moved in simultaneously in order to effect an arrest on the two gentlemen.
And you participated in that arrest?
I did.
I don't have any further questions. So that's.
Cross is in.
Yes, you, arrived at the claim on Pennsylvania. Was there a total of 3 people in the car?
I believe there were 3 people at the time, yes.
Okay, so there was Mr. James and 2 other people.
Yes.
And the third person you never identified.
No, they were dropped off at a residence and I never obtained identification.
And you were, the closest you got to the vehicle was 20 yards away. You were on foot.
Approximately, give or take. I don't have the exact measurement, but somewhere in that ballpark.
You said that at the time of the surveillance on Pennsylvania, you didn't know who the driver of the vehicle was.
I only knew him based on seeing him as the driver, recognizing him as the driver throughout the surveillance. He wasn't identified by us until we took him into custody.
Where were you when you were looking into the? Were you looking through the rear door of the car?
No, sir. I had a clear view right through the driver window as I passed by the vehicle.
What about when you were on foot?
That's at the time that I had a clear view right through the driver window.
You walked by on foot and looked and saw it in the driver window.
I did. They were parked on the curb and I was just walking by on the opposite sidewalk.
What was the driver wearing?
I don't recall the exact clothing, but I do remember a very distinct brownish, tannish ball cap.
Okay. Did you recall if the other person in the car had any cap on?
I do not recall. I know Mr. James, I don't know if this answers your question. Mr. James at the time had a full tan sweatsuit on, so it was very easy to.
No, the other person, the third person. You don't see whether or not he had a cap on.
I can't recall.
So the driver, you can only see the side profile of the driver.
At the time
you were on foot surveillance,
yes.
and you weren't close enough to see any distinguishing marks or tattoos on his.
Not close enough to pick out any tattoos at that time, no.
You weren't close enough to see if there was any facial hair or anything like that.
I don't recall seeing specific facial hair at the time.
It might have been, it might not have been.
Sure. This guy, I was trying to watch a lot at once, so it's like.
You never saw the driver of the car exit the vehicle during the surveillance in Pennsylvania.
I did not.
You didn't see that third unidentified person exit the vehicle on Pennsylvania.
No, I did not.
And then the only person that you observed exit the vehicle on Pennsylvania was Mr. James.
Yes.
And you said you lost sight of that silver Chevy Equinox shortly after the surveillance on Pennsylvania.
I did personal, but the surveillance team as a whole did not.
How far from Pennsylvania were you when you lost sight of the Chevy Equinox?
I was still, I was right on a side street at the corner of Pennsylvania and not recall the name of the side street. I wasn't crossing Pennsylvania.
But then the vehicle drove away and you were on foot, and that's when you lost sight.
Sure, immediately as the vehicle turned off, other officers had a vision.
Right, I was talking about you. That's when you lost sight.
Yes, right, yes,
And then, you said you were there at the arrest,
I was.
and, Mr. Strickland never made any statements to you admitting guilt of any crime.
No.
During the whole arrest procedure that you would have observed.
No, I didn't ask him.
But you didn't hear any statements of admitting any crime.
No.
Anything else?
No, we're good.
Okay, then thank you, officer. You can step down.
One more brief witness, Your Honor.
Okay.
If you call Officer Alvajar.
So raise your right hand to take your oath. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much. Have a seat.
Thank you for being here this morning. Would you please state and spell your name?
Yes, Ferris Alvajar, Faris, like the Alhajjar.
A-L-J-R. Yeah. You said it was Ferris.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Where do you work?
Livonia Police Department,
What is your role at the Livonia Police Department?
police officer,
How long have you been a police officer for the Livonia Police Department?
2 years.
Were you working in your capacity as a Livonia police officer on October 15th of this year?
Yes,
At approximately, where were you working that day?
that day we were kind of, on surveillance throughout the metro area.
And on whom were you conducting surveillance?
We're conducting surveillance on a silver Chevy Equinox. 3 subjects in it.
Now, when you say we, who are you referring to?
My surveillance crew, I'm a part of the surveillance group, and we were conducting surveillance on a known subject that was breaking into garages.
And what's the name of the known subject?
Keely James.
So you were participating as part of this task force conducting surveillance on Keely James?
Yes,
Did you ever personally lay eyes on Mr. James?
yes, I did.
At what point that day did you lay eyes on Mr. James?
When we started surveilling him, laid eyes on him at his house. States.
Is that on Mendota Street in Philly?
Yes,
You personally saw something there?
yes.
What did you see there?
I saw him load his vehicle.
By him, you're referring to Mr. James?
Yes.
Okay.
Then,
You said load his vehicle?
yes,
What-
get in his car, get him load the
Okay.
vehicle. Then later, I watched Mr. James go into a parking lot on Davidson where he tried to sell stolen, but,
We're gonna get there.
okay.
Let's talk about Mendota Street real quick. You said you saw him load his vehicle, and you clarify that that's Mr. James.
Yes.
Is anybody with Mr. James?
There's 2 other subjects.
Okay. And would you please describe what you meant by load the vehicle?
Get in the car.
Okay, personally,
Yes. enter the vehicle.
enter the car.
Enter the car.
Not taking other items.
Yeah, and I'm sorry about that. Enter the vehicle.
Okay,
Yeah, we kind of say, what we say load, we kind of mean to get in the car.
Okay, but that doesn't mean he had other things with him.
Yeah.
Just him.
Yes, just,
Okay.
which seat did Mr. James get into in the vehicle?
in the passenger seat.
Do you know who was in the driver's seat?
We found him out later, who was in the driver's seat.
Were you able to see an individual in the driver's seat?
No,
Okay. So after the subject loaded into the vehicle, also would you describe the vehicle briefly?
yes, it was a, if I recall, it was a Ford Fusion, I believe.
Okay. Where did you follow this, or did you follow the vehicle?
We followed the vehicle, yes. Drove around town, went to a pawn shop, then went to Southfield and got into another vehicle. The occupants got into another vehicle.
Did you witness any of this, or this was relayed to you by the team?
This was really too bad.
After swapping into another vehicle, Were you able to personally lay eyes on that vehicle?
Yes,
What type
later,
of vehicle?
later in the surveillance, I laid eyes on the vehicle.
What type of vehicle is the second vehicle?
It's, silver Chevy Equinox.
Okay. So at what point in the surveillance did you personally lay eyes on the silver Chevrolet Equinox or Mr. James or any of the other subjects?
When they drove to a, parking lot on Davidson.
Okay, so you were in communication with the team this whole time?
Yes.
Approximately how long did the surveillance last from the time you saw them on Mendota Street until the parking lot on Davidson?
It lasted, I'd say, 4 hours maybe, if I recall.
Were you first to arrive at the parking lot on Davidson?
Yes, it was.
What did you see upon arrival?
When I arrived, the Equinox pulled into the parking lot. Mr. James got out from the passenger seat, approached people that were sitting at a table, at chairs at a table in the parking lot. They're selling lawn equipment, you know, construction tools. Within seconds of that, the driver got out. Went to speak with James and the people at the table. Then James walked back to the trunk, opened the trunk and unloaded some equipment from the vehicle.
What type of equipment did James unload?
Lawn equipment?
Okay. You said you saw the driver exit the vehicle?
Yes,
Were you later able to identify the driver?
yes.
Who was the driver identified as?
Cortez Strickland?
And did you personally see Mr. Strickland enough to be able to recognize him?
Yes,
Do you see him in the courtroom today?
yes, I do.
Would you please point to him and indicate an item of his clothing?
Yes, he's wearing that purple Nike sweatshirt.
May the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
So ordered.
After Mr. Strickland and Mr. James exited the Equinox and approached the individuals that were selling the lawn equipment in the parking lot, what did you witness next?
After that, we got the signal to move in and make our arrest,
Okay.
and we arrested Mr. Strickland and Mr. James.
Did you participate in that arrest?
I participated in the arrest of Mr. James.
Who gave the signal to make the arrest?
Sergeant Zelensky.
I don't have any further question.
Cross is in.
Yes, Don't you arrived at Davidson, the individuals in that silver Equinox were already out of the people, right?
No, so I pulled into a gas station just east of that lot. They came in off an alley. All right. And as soon as I pulled in, it was like simultaneously. They got into that lot.
So you did see people get out of that Equinox?
I saw people there that Equinox.
And was it 2 or 3 people?
2 people.
So you saw the Equinox actually pull into that
Yes,
area? Okay. Now you said you were personally observing the home on Mendota,
Yes,
and that's in Detroit.
yes.
And whose home was that?
Believe it was Mr. James's cousin.
Mr. James doesn't live there, as far as you know. Right?
But we had surveillance in and out of that house prior to the day of the arrest.
You didn't have any information that Mr. Strickland had ever lived at that house, or
No.
stayed there, or even been inside that house, as far as you, right? Now, there were 2 homes, garages in Southfield that are pertaining to this case.
Yes,
And you weren't observing Mr. James at either one of those addresses.
yeah, I wasn't on the eye. We had another officer calling it. And I was just like, we had a perimeter set.
You were somewhere,
I was somewhere and I heard it on the radio channel.
but you didn't observe anything.
I did not observe the crime happen itself.
You didn't even observe anybody get out of the Equinox to walk up to either one of these garages, right?
Well, the Equinox was followed under close and constant surveillance.
I'm only asking what you saw.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody from the Equinox going to the garage.
Either garage.
Correct.
Okay. So you didn't see, you weren't close enough to see any description of who was driving that Equinox either, correct?
One more time, sir?
At Southfield,
Mhm.
you weren't close enough to the Equinox to be able to see any description of any person that was driving.
Well, we knew,
No, what you saw.
You just want to know what you saw.
yeah, I didn't pull up car to car next to it to take a look.
Well, even 10, 20 yards away, you weren't close enough to actually look in and see a driver.
Yeah, no.
And you didn't hear Mr. Strickland make any statements during the arrest.
No, I didn't.
He admitted any,
I didn't deal with Mr. Strickland.
but you didn't hear anything from him.
I didn't speak with him, didn't go up to him.
And you didn't overhear him say anything to
No.
anybody else. So you don't really know for certain that Mr. Strickland knew that the items were stolen.
He was present in the car. He drove.
You know,
He drove James.
but you don't know for certain he knew what James's intentions were.
Well, he drove him around or scouting garages.
There's nothing for.
Okay. Any other questions?
Nothing.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Any other witnesses from the people?
No further witnesses.
Any witnesses for the defense?
Thank you.
All right. Motion and or argument.
Yes, Your Honor. People move to bind the matter over as charged on the 2 counts of home invasion and first degree. We heard from several witnesses, notably the 2 homeowners who each testified that they were present, one at 16900 Mount Vernon Street in Southfield. And then the other homeowner lives at 15687 Pennsylvania Street in Southfield. Those homeowners had contacted police that day, who indicated to them that there had been a potential home invasion, and the homeowners identified some items that were removed or taken or missing in their garages. We also heard from several Livonia police officers who testified that they, as a group, were part of a surveillance task force that was conducting surveillance on October 15th of this year, and that they followed a Ford Fusion and a silver Chevrolet Equinox, both of which were driven by the defendant, Mr. Strickland, and had Alkeely James as a passenger. We followed that vehicle through the city of Southfield, where officers observed the home invasions take place at each of the addresses that I mentioned. All of the officers identified Mr. Strickland as the driver of the car. And then later on, the officers followed Mr. Strickland and Mr. James to Detroit, where they were arrested, and Mr. Strickland was later identified. People have met their burden by conflict of standard and will reserve any further argument over them.
Any argument?
Yes, I believe that, people have met probable cause for Mr. James. So there was observation been going in the home, taking the items, have testimony from the homeowners that they didn't give anyone permission. But we haven't heard any statement from Mr. Strickland or anything from the officers, any evidence that Mr. Strickland knew that these items, that Mr. James did not have permission to take these items. So without that, I think we're missing the element of Mr. Strickland intending to assist Mr. James take items without the owner's permission. So with that, we haven't established a probable cause on larceny, so therefore there no.
Your Honor, clearly the people have charged Mr. Strickland with an aiding and abetting theory.
Mhm.
He was present at each of these addresses. He watched Mr. James enter and exit the garages with lawn equipment. That lawn equipment was later driven to individuals in a parking lot who were selling lawn equipment on the side of the street. This is a question of fact for the jury or the finder of fact, and I'd ask the court to bind that.
Well, home invasion first degree, these are the elements that the people have to prove by at least probable cause standards at this juncture. And believe me, this is an aiding and abetting, so we don't have to have this particular defendant doing the actual act. For aiding and abetting, you just need to have that a crime was committed by the defendant or somebody else. It doesn't even matter if anybody's convicted of it. It just has to have been committed by the defendant or anyone else. And that before or during the crime, the defendant did something to assist in the commission of the crime. Third, that at the time, the defendant must have intended the commission of the crime alleged or must have known that the other person intended its commission or that the crime alleged was a natural, probable consequence of the commission of the crime intended. So that's the theory on aiding and abetting. The defendant has to have, crime has to be committed. The defendant has to have done something to assist in it and must have intended the commission of it or have known that the other person intended to commit the crime. So for home invasion, well, I think Mr. Foster is correct. We got the elements of it that have been established that someone, and that someone for sure, who was actually doing the breaking into the dwelling was Mr. Keely James. So broke into a dwelling, that's the first element. Doesn't matter if something was actually broken, but some force has to be used to gain some type of entry. Could even be a raised window, taken off a screen. The second element is that the person then entered the dwelling. Doesn't matter if he got his entire body in, just got some part of it. Third, that when they broke and entered, they intended to commit the crime of larceny. And that when entered or someone was present, when the defendant was either present in or leaving the dwelling. So clearly, in both cases, the testimony established from Mr. Noel Hildreth and and he was the one for 16900 Mount Vernon. And then we had Mr. Anthony Adams, 15687 Pennsylvania Street. These were their particular homes that they were present. Mr. Adams said he was sleeping in the basement at the time. I think Mr. Hildreth said he was in the home office playing Tiger Woods and listening to smooth jazz. So they were both there. They both got information from officers that there had been a break-in. They both testified to the things that were stolen. I don't think I need to go through that because we have pretty much capitulated here that the elements are there. And that the breaking was done without either one of their consent, coming in, taking those items.
There was no testimony of any breaking, both garage and door into all our buildings.
Okay, but that's what I said. You don't have to have an actual breaking. You just have to have some part of their body go into the house. Didn't I say that? I thought I said that. No. So, but that constitutes legally a quote breaking, even though you don't have to break an actual window. You can I think I said open a door. You don't have to go all the way in. You can just get a portion of your body in. So we have that in both cases. And we have officers that saw Mr. James actually go into residence and take items out, put it into this car that was driven by this defendant on several occasions. And this was a long-standing investigation, apparently watching Mr. James from his house on Mendota several different times. In this particular date, watched it, saw the defendant with him and change cars and then go to these homes and then left the homes, and officers caught up with them down in Detroit, Livermore and Davison, where there were people selling these same type of items on the street. And apparently Mr. James got out of the vehicle, and then the defendant got out of the vehicle, went up to Mr. James where the items were being sold. And then Mr. James then comes back and gets the items and brings them back to the table. And I guess that's when the police got their signal to move in for the arrest. So clearly there's enough evidence of a home invasion, first degree being committed, because we do have the quote breaking, which does not have to have anything broken. All right, but he went in, he being Mr. James, and took items without the consent of either person while they were lawfully present. Now for the aiding and abetting part, so we do have the crime that was committed. We do have the Mr. Strickland assisting as the driver of the vehicle. Now, this was a situation where officers observed, I think they said, was it 4 hours or so? From the beginning of this until they got into the arrest. I think that was just testified to today. As a matter of fact, trying to find exactly what was said here, but I thought I remembered saying something about 4 hours. So this wasn't just a casual little drive. This was a drive through a city for a number of hours, going to at least 2 locations and watching somebody get out of the home, go into a garage, and come out with some tools. That could give a reasonable trier of fact the conclusion that you had to have an idea that you didn't live there and possibly had no permission to go in. And further buttressing this possible knowledge of this is the fact that the defendant then drives Mr. James down to Detroit to a place where these items are then sold off. So it's a good question of fact from a trier of fact to determine, what did Mr. Strickland know? Was he the driver and the getaway driver participating in this crime with knowledge that this is what was going to happen? Or did he just, get led around like sheep to the slaughter? He has no idea what's going on, just driving around, Mr. James picking up, I guess, tools from various different relatives of his. That's a question for the trier of fact, as to whether or not he knew and intended to participate in it, or had reason to know that Mr. James was committing this crime of home invasion with the intent to commit these larcenies. So for those reasons, the court's going to bind over on both counts of home invasion first degree, on this aiding and abetting theory, and we will continue the bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep. Okay. And here's the file. Just the notes. We got notes. I don't know if we'll need them, but we'll keep them. And then I believe that concludes the AM docket.
All right, Rodney Sean Tuttle. And I want Officer McParlin here, 25B701485. Good morning, officer. I'm gonna ask you to take your hat off. Tell me your name, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Excuse my air. I'm Officer Gage McParlin with the Brownstown Township Police Department.
Names again over here.
John Freeman on behalf of Mr. Tuttle.
Name.
Ron Sean Tuttle.
All right, so one of the things I pointed out, he pled to attempt, resist, and obstruct, 2 counts, a 1 year, and then he pled also to use of methamphetamines, which is a 1 year. And I pointed out, I read in the report where you said he punched you in the forehead. And these lawyers saying it's on video, and he's inviting me to see the video, and I'll be happy to look at the video. but he's seemingly disputing that. He's saying that you tackled him, right, Mr. Freeman? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
So, Your Honor, I just rewatched the video. So my client is given a lawful command to stop. The officers wanted to speak to him. He refused to do that, and he started to move away from the officers. So I believe it was this officer that's currently on the video, attempts to tackle my client. He is the person that initiates the physical contact. My client begins to run. And during the course of trying to run away, this officer loses his footing and falls to the ground. There's a second officer who is involved in the pursuit. This is all visible to me, at least, on the body worn camera footage of the second officer, who's a little bit farther behind. I do not see anything on this video of my client attempting to strike.
He didn't say attempting. His report says he struck him in the forehead. That's what it says.
And
He said, as I reached out to grab Tuttle's wrist, he pulled away from me. I reached again for his arm. Tuttle punched me on the right side of my forehead. I lost my balance and fell down to the ground, and Tuttle took off running northbound on Kirby. And then he talks about how he and Officer Grimm tackled Tuttle to the ground on the cement driveway. While Tuttle was on the ground, he continued to fight with me, resisting arrest. Grimm and Novak, fighting with me, Grimm and Novak. I personally had to knee Tuttle in the ribs to get him to surrender his hands. I also attempted to strike Tuttle on the shoulder, but he moved and I struck his face. After 2 minutes of fighting / resisting, we were able to handcuff him and place him in an upright position so he could breathe. So I'm just asking you, because I'm going to look at this video.
Yeah.
Did he in fact punch you in the forehead?
Your Honor, I remember being struck as I went to grab Mr. Tuttle, and at that point I fell. That's what I remember. If the video shows anything different, that is just, I would like to see it as well, but that's exactly what I remember, and my video camera fell off. But that is exactly what I remember.
Can I see the video?
of course,
All right, you want to pull it up here?
give it up.
Can we, he's got it on his podium here, at the podium, Lisa. Can we, tech savvy, I'm not. Can I get it up on the screen there, or?
I'd also be happy to step up and kind of facilitate the court. Watching it on my laptop, there is some audio to it.
Yeah.
If he wants to join the Zoom, he can do a share screen, or he can send it to me and I'll share screen.
I can try and join the Zoom.
Okay, let's have you do that. I'm sorry to call you on such short notice, officer, so just bear with us if you will, please.
Not a problem, Your Honor. I don't want to be wrong in this case, so please, yes, pull it up, and thank you for calling me.
No problem. Now we're going back on Tuttle. All right, recalling Rodney Sean Tuttle, 25E701-485. You and your client can sit right there, counsel. You don't have to stand at the podium. Come on over and sit next to your lawyer here, Mr. Tuttle. And Officer McParland, I just want to make sure you can see this as well. You can see this?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, I can see it.
Okay, you can go ahead and start the video.
So, Your Honor, I'm not sure about the audio part because there was some feedback. So I don't know if the courtroom has to be muted. I assume the court wants to hear the audio.
Yeah, let me see that. If we have a problem, I'll tell you to stop it, okay?
So, Your Honor, I can hear it here, but I don't know.
I'm here. I'm able to hear it a little bit.
Your Honor, is it lagging on your end?
it's not the best. Where's that coming from?
From my, his last time.
I should have paid attention in typing class. Okay. I don't even know how to mute myself. See, I mean, there's part of this that's weird. We got the audio already muted over here. Okay, try it now.
You're already muted.
All right, I'm just going to watch it. Just let it go for now. Keep it going.
Whoa.
Yeah, we can. So just that I talked to us. So we don't we actually exchange the one over. Yeah, I just that try. Talk to you. Okay, what is it? Why did you get more time?
Your Honor, I think that the critical part is what we just watched.
Yeah, I want to go back. I want you to turn it back about 15 seconds. Can you see this okay, Officer McFarland?
Not at all, Your Honor.
Go ahead, play.
Trying to get short time.
Yeah. All right. You can approach the podium and let's finish the sentence. Officer McFarland, you are the victim on this. You are welcome to tell me whatever you'd like to say.
Just one thing for clarification, Your Honor. Again, the video I can't really see very well, but I don't want to put or make any statement if I made it wrong or whatever. Did you see him strike me? I cannot see the video.
It looked to me like he did. At one point, when you went toward him, it looked like in the process of him trying to get away that he did take a swing, but I'm not positive about that.
All right, just because I don't want to be an officer known for any kind of like someone think I just falsified anything here, because if I'd set the record straight. But continue, Your Honor.
Nobody thinks that. Okay.
All right. Yes, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
Do you want to say anything else?
Mr. Tuttle, if I could speak directly to him, if at all possible, Your Honor.
Sure.
Or to the court. Mr. Tuttle, despite what happened, sir, I really hope you get the help you need wherever you're going in life. All right, buddy. I know I know you were on Allen Park. You had an incident there. I wish the best for you and your family. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Not a problem, man. Good luck, brother.
Can I have 3 probation orders? Counsel, what else would you like to? You're free to sit there if you want still. I don't have any problem with that.
It feels awkward, Your Honor, for all of you who've sat in.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it was in that, the probation orders. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm not probation. Yeah, orders of probation.
So, Your Honor, since I first started interacting with my client back, months ago when I was hired on this matter, my sense is that he's been doing everything right. He was living in Florida after this event, and he went through a rehab program there. He was working gainfully employed with Amazon. And he just seems to be on the right track. And I'm really concerned that ultimately, if he has to do the incarceration, that it's going to derail the progress that he's made. So I'm going to ask the court to follow the recommendation. My client has relocated to the state of Kentucky where he's got stability and living better.
So he's actually living in Kentucky now.
Yes, Your Honor. He started out in Florida. He came back here. You may recall there was an issue about him needing to have his fingerprints taken.
Yes.
I did all that. He's been here for the 2 in-person court appearances. So now he's residing in Kentucky with his dad where he's working. We have no objection to the recommendation. I think it's very fair. I think that addressing what's going on underlying with Mr. Tuttle's behavior is going to be the key to success. And hopefully he never has to appear before a judge like this again. He recognizes that he's got to do a lot of work in order to make sure that that happens. And I would just ask the board to follow the recommendation, give him the opportunity. Your Honor, the court also, the last time we were here, directed him to appear or to attend AA meeting.
Yeah, because he wasn't doing it, right?
That's correct. And I do have, he's got a sheet here that's been signed that shows consistent meeting attendance between November 15th and December 7th. So I can provide that to the court.
No, I trust you, counsel. I believe you.
Your Honor, I think the video speaks for itself. I think the court has a clear grasp as to the facts of the case. And I'd ask them to show some mercy to my client.
Mr. Tuttle, anything you'd like to say, sir?
I just apologize for the situation. But the best is on board on both parties.
I'm sorry?
I hope for the best on both parties.
Are you going to be in Brownstown area at all?
Okay, here, why I'm saying my father is.
All right, 18 months probation. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate a law. You change your address, place of employment, or home telephone number, you must notify probation. You have to report as direct. No alcohol, no drugs. Stay away from that meth. No alcohol, no drugs of any kind, not marijuana, anything. No alcohol, no illegal controlled substances, no marijuana. You can leave the state to go to Kentucky. You're not to purchase, possess, or consume alcohol or drugs. You're subject to chemical testing, PBTs and ETGs as follows. I'm gonna make it weekly for 2 months. If you're clean, I'll make it bi-weekly for 2 months. If you're clean, I'll then revert it to monthly. Okay? Kratom, poppy seeds, and CBD oils are prohibited. Consuming food or other items containing those substances will be deemed a violation. Again, you're to attend AA, NA 3 times a week until I think he needs intensive outpatient treatment counsel. I really do. He's got too much of a history here. So 3 times a week until an IOP. Once you get into intensive outpatient treatment, you no longer have to attend AA or NA. Okay, do you understand all of this so far?
I really don't understand what intensive outpatient is.
All right, well, it's more than once a week. They're gonna be having you go 3-4 times a week. Okay, and probation will explain that, and your lawyer will explain that. I think he has 1 day credit coming from the arrest. Is that true, or does he have more than that?
I think it's just one.
Okay. All right. I would make him do the court work program, but I'm not going to since he lives in Kentucky. 10 days jail, credit 1, serve 9. I'll let you serve 9 days of community service. That has to be completed by February the 20th of 26. In terms of fines and costs, and on count 1, I'm going to attribute everything. $100. What happened? $100 fines, 75 costs, $60 screening fee. That is $235. Probation fees are $360. That's $595. And then you have 75 and 50 for 75 victim choice fee, $50 justice assessment. So that's another $125 on top of the $595 for a total of $720. I believe on the other 2 counts, I'm just assessing 50 and just the justice assessment fee. So $100 fines, 75 costs, $50 justice assessment, 2.25 on both of those other files. Okay, so 100 fines, 75 costs, and $50 justice assessment. So that's 2.25 on those. I'm not going to charge you again, or 365 days. All of these terms and conditions are running concurrent. Do you understand that, Mr. Tuttle? All right. So counsel, he owes $720 plus $450 or $1170. Can he pay all that today?
Your Honor, would the court consider a 2-month payment plan?
I don't have a problem with that. Okay, so let's just do this. Just give me 1 second. There's a lot of paperwork here. Oh, boy. Monthly, weekly. All right, so how do you want him to be able to pay this, counsel? In other words, why don't we set up a payment plan and
Would it be easier if the court just set a due date for?
yeah, I'd rather have them do that. I'd rather set up a weekly or bi-weekly or monthly or what have you. So how much can you pay weekly, sir, or bi-weekly? Can you pay $100 bi-weekly? Well, let's just do that. $100 bi-weekly beginning December 23rd. And then you just pay every other week. If you don't have the money, call the court. We'll go on Zoom. I'll give you an extension. We're not going to have a problem. Just don't ignore me, okay? You'll meet with probation before you leave. Any questions?
Probation thing, just out of curiosity on how the.
You're going to talk to probation. They're going to have you test in Kentucky. You don't have to drive back to Michigan. And yeah, they'll answer all your questions. And if they don't, you can come back in here and ask me, okay? Anything else?
No, thank you.
Have a nice day. Take care. Enjoy your Christmas and everything. Thank you. Nice Christmas. Good luck. Secreto, Brandon Lee Secreto, 25B149110.
Is that the arraignment?
Yeah, I don't know who.
Brownstown?
Yeah. I don't know who the defendant was or defense lawyer. Mr. Shemke, it must be. Okay. Mr. Shemke, your appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke, appearing on behalf of my client. This time extended to the matter being heard via Zoom.
Those look like swimming goggles or something, huh, Mr. Shemke?
No, just regular glasses, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Secreto, how you doing? Why don't you stand up a little bit? Are you okay?
No, sir. I have bulging disc in my back, sir.
Your name?
What is it?
Your name.
What's your name?
Brandon Lee Secreto.
And detective, your name?
Detective Claft, Brownstown Township Police Department.
Does he stand me at waveform rating?
Yes, Your Honor.
He doesn't like to show up in court.
Your Honor.
I'll have an opportunity to speak on your behalf, sir. Just wait.
Go ahead, Mr. Shemke.
Your Honor, my client's currently 40 years old. He has two twin children, ages 5 months. He was actually working as of 6 days ago, but he's currently on medical for an injury that he suffered. He was delivering for a local business. He currently lives in Brownstown alone. There might be some miscommunication on this trespassing, but he understands that while this case is pending, he cannot go back to that Brownstown address. He does have alternative lodging at the Lincoln Park address with his uncle. Judge, I don't believe this was any malicious intent. He indicated that he had no knowledge of this court date, but will absolutely appear at any and all future court dates. We'd humbly respect any leniency when determining an appropriate bond. He's not on probation or parole, nor does he have any pending cases. Thank you.
Where do you live?
I live at 1866 Monty in Lincoln Park, Your Honor. But Your Honor, the mailing address that you guys have for me is
Hang on,
address.
slow down.
Yes, sir.
Can you give me a bond sheet? Wait a minute. How long ago did you live on Cornell?
I've been living there, sir. It's just recently that
Slow down. I have a feeling you're going to start dancing. I have a feeling you're going to. I didn't ask you that. I don't know what recently means. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you were there yesterday, the day before that? I don't know what that means.
I lived there for.
I didn't ask you how long you lived there. I asked you how long you lived there until. Look at me, Mr. Secreto. Don't talk to him.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I'm just in a lot of pain right now, sir.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? You should have shown up in court.
I didn't know I had a court date, sir. My mailing address is that address, and nobody let me know that I even had a court date, sir. Your Honor. It was probably about 3 weeks ago.
Whoa. You're going to agitate me really quick here. You know that? I want you to answer my question. Look me in the eye. When did you stop residing at 20095 Cornell in Brownstown?
3 weeks ago, Your Honor.
Well, then I don't know why you didn't receive your mail. We sent these to you in November. You got one in October, scheduling it for November 20, and we set another one for December 3rd. Don't tell me this stuff.
Yeah, I'm wrong about my dates, then, Your Honor. I've been going through. Whenever she filed the petition with you guys, it was about a week before that.
Did they give you the citation in hand, sir?
No, Your Honor. I haven't received nothing. I was just told by an officer not to come back there. That was it. The last time I was there, Your Honor. I was told not to come back or I'd go to jail.
Sir Grimm didn't give you a copy of the citation on October 29th?
No, I haven't received nothing. They asked me to leave.
He says he checked the box saying he gave it to you.
No, Your Honor. I haven't received no paperwork from nobody. I was told by an officer not to come back. He told me to get in my car and leave. I did what the officer told me. They followed me to Telegraph. They followed me to Sibley, and then they let loose of me. And the officer told me when I got in my car, he said he understands it's something that I had to deal with the courts with, and he said do not come back or he would be forced to take me to jail, Your Honor.
Boy, you got quite a record.
Yes, Your Honor. I changed my life a lot, though, Your Honor. I become a truck driver. I'm trying to do my best. I just had twins, me and my fiance. So a lot of my time and all my money really goes to them right now.
He still got quite a record.
Yes, Your Honor. I made a lot of horrible mistakes as a kid. And I mean,
hang on a second, slow down. Detective, can you help me out here? Was he alleged to be trespassing at his own address?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I have an initial report here.
Where were you picked up, Mr. Secreto, while he's doing that?
In my car, Your Honor.
Driving?
I was parked, yes.
Where?
I was parked. Basically the auto shop on Sibley. Sibley by Telegraph and Sibley, basically right next to the McDonald's and all of that right there.
Why were you there?
I was sleeping in my car, Your Honor. I have my car has been messing up on me. The guy at the auto shop is gonna help me with parts. And I basically just fell asleep in my car. An officer approached me and asked what I was doing. I told him. They talked to the owner of the shop, and he verified and told them that it was okay that my car stayed there. My whole front end, my upper and lower ball bearings are really messed up on the car.
What is your address now?
1866 Monty. That's my uncle's address, sir.
Montie?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's in
Lincoln Park. It's the only address I really have right now, Your Honor. I've been
Hang on.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who are you living with there?
It's my uncle, James Dandy.
All right, Mr. Credo, slow down. Detective, tell me what you're reading in that report.
Your Honor, it looks to me that he went to visit his kids at this location, 20095 Cornell. Female caller made a complaint about him being there. Officers went out and confronted him, advised him on trespassing, and he went about his way. We explained to the caller about the steps to obtain the PPO order through the court downtown. As far as addresses go, the way the report reads, I guess I don't know if he was where he was living at that time.
Some of my license, everything.
Mr. Secreto.
Yes, Your Honor.
I should give you a cash bond. I'm not going to. You're not to go near 20095 Cornell in Brownstown. No contact with prosecution witnesses. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court. You cannot violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. I'll give you a personal bond of $500, but if you don't show up again and you end up in front of me, you better have a lot of money with you. You understand what I'm telling you?
Yes, Your Honor. I won't miss another one, I promise you, Your Honor.
What date are we going to do on this? Oh, it's probably on the front here. We're going to do December 17th at 10 a.m.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're going to be here next Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the morning, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good luck to you.
All right, we'll now be on the record in GW 2025 CR 72, State of Kansas versus Sandra Sue York. State by County Attorney Jill Gillette. Defendant in person and by Attorney William McClendon via Zoom, separate locations. Is Gloria Swanson here?
She is.
Where is she?
She's upstairs at the courthouse.
Okay, at the Greenwood, DC, it says. Okay.
Stevenson.
Mr. McClendon, how does your client want to proceed on the charge before us today? The animal at large, dangerous animal at large.
Judge, so I do apologize about the late notice to this, but it was in my preparation for today's hearing that I figured I have a conflict on this matter. I represent the city of Fall River, and in doing so, several of the members who are listed and are potential witnesses. In this, I also serve in a capacity, so I don't feel comfortable representing Miss York in this particular capacity.
In other words, you don't want to cross-examine your bosses that write your checks, right?
In a way, yes, Your Honor.
I understand. I imagine Ms. Swanson would probably feel better not having their employee represent the defendant. So you're moving to withdraw for conflict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, Miss Gillette, I think he has every legitimate reason to withdraw, so I will grant that. I hate that because I wanted to proceed timely, but I will still visit for just a moment with Miss York. All right, Miss York, your son, Mr. Shinkle, isn't by chance here, is he?
No, he's not.
Well, I am familiar with this case somewhat through a protection hearing I heard some time ago in a civil matter. We're here actually on a motion to revoke diversion. Miss Gillette, do you anticipate any of the folks from Fall River needing to testify today?
Not until she has a new attorney.
Okay. Well,
That's why the alleged victim is here.
yeah.
This is
Yeah. Well, she wrote me a statement here too. The victim did. Did you all get a copy, Mr. McLennan, Miss Gillette? Did we get? I think my letter actually came from your office, Miss Gillette. I think that Miss Swanson sent the letter to you, and you forwarded. Go ahead.
her last name is Stevenson.
Stevenson. Where did I get Swanson?
I don't know.
I thought that was interesting that it was the same as the former actress from Wade, but it's Stevenson, not Swanson. Oh, okay. So your name is Stevenson, not Swanson.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Glad we got that straight. All right. Well, here's one thing I'm concerned about. Miss York. Where'd you go? There you
Still right here.
Miss York.
Yes.
In that protection order, you and your son are to not be around Miss Stevenson or property with any form of dogs, especially pit bulls. And as I was preparing for my docket today and reading this letter, there are allegations that pit bull that bit her is still coming around the property. In people's pickups, the backs of their trucks, it's still barking and carrying on. She's still being intimidated. If you want to stay out of jail until this is resolved, if you don't want your bond revoked, you're going to have to keep all dogs away from that property. I'm going to just make it all dogs. I don't want them on your property that's near hers. I don't want your kids showing up with the dog in the back of the truck. There's even been some allegation that you're keeping the dog for him on your property for your son.
No,
okay.
That is not true.
Okay, I hope that's not true. But I'm going to make it hopefully as clear as I can that there are not to be any dogs on your property, whether it be on foot or in trucks or cars. No dogs. And if you need to put up a no dogs anywhere near my property sign to tell your kids to quit putting you in harm's way, then you're going to have to do it. But if your son is doing what I've been told he is through this letter, if your son is showing up with that pit bull around her, he's not here, and I'm not going to say that to him. I wish he were here, but I will tell you, he has a protection order where he's to keep his dog away from her. And if he brings that dog around, he could be charged with violation of protection order himself. He may have been by now. Kind of think he may have been. But keep that dog away from her property. The allegation is she's been bitten by your son's pit bull because he brings him over to your house. And then the dog goes wild. We'll hear that. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm just saying if it is true, that would be terrifying to anybody to have a pit bull attack. So you and your son are kind of in harm's way here yourselves if that dog keeps coming over to your house, it's just a matter of time before you get your bond revoked or he gets put in jail without bond. So this is for your benefit as well as hers. Don't let him come over. If you don't both have security cameras, you might need them. I think, Miss Stevenson, you said in this letter that you've got a security system. I assume that has cameras so that if that dog is around you, it'll show up on your camera.
Yes, ma'am.
I know your letter says one day he broke his tie-out leash and he attacked, and that the son himself threatens you.
Yes.
That you have the defendant on video yelling from her porch. You guys, I know it's tough to have neighbors that you don't get along with, and I understand that you two ladies used to get along great until the adult son started showing up with his pit bull. Maybe the son's the problem. I don't know, and someday this will go back to evidence. But I did hear some evidence and testimony with the PFA or the PFS. So I'm just saying, for both your benefits, keep the dog away. And I don't know if Miss Stevenson is a real irritating person or not. She looks like a very lovely person. But if she irritates you, don't be near her. If you see her, go the other way. Don't stand and yell at her on your porch. Don't let your son yell at her, and vice versa. Just stay away from each other. Believe it or not, some neighbors
yelled at her.
All right. Well, some neighbors go for years without having to see each other, but it seems like once you start having trouble, you just see each other all the time. And I'm saying you've got to stop it. So that's enough lecturing for now. Hopefully it's common sense and you'll just follow it. But is there anything else, Miss Gillette, that we need to address?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Mr. McClendon, I know you were allowed to withdraw, but anything further before I let you folks go?
No, Your Honor, nothing from me.
Mr. Favre, is there any chance you could take this case for me?
You
want to?
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about it, but maybe.
All right, Missy, when you start looking for a reappointment, let's look at Mr. Favre. I think he could do this. And all right.
Yeah, send me an email.
Okay, and we need a new date.
Oh, yes, let's give it a new date. So send this back over for diversion revocation hearing.
What about January 27th at 3:30?
If everybody can get along between now and then. The holidays are coming and there's going to be, the boys and girls are going to be coming. Do you have anything at the end of this month before the holiday, before Christmas? Because I just feel like it's going to be a potentially miserable Christmas if all the kids start coming home.
And December 23rd, I don't know if Miss Gillette's playing on. We don't have anything scheduled there. I was leaving that open.
Well, I like that idea.
So, or we could try for next Tuesday. The
Well,
16th.
okay, look.
Oh, wait, Jill's leaving early. Never mind.
Yeah, Mr. Favre may need more time. All right, January 27 it is. Deputy Coude lives near near your homes, ladies. Is that right? Or at least yours, Miss Stevens. Maybe I'm mistaken on that one. Of course, he could be out of town. Well, I'm just going to make it a condition of your bond, Miss York. Your kids are going to have to be on their best behavior. You need to go have your family Christmas somewhere else.
We don't have family Christmas except out in the country. Not at my home.
Great. Because that way you can't be accused of anything and can't get your bond revoked. Unless you really go out of your way. All right, very good. I could just see all kinds of issues with that. All right.
Yep,
So that's the order. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Just try to avoid each other until I see you again January 27.
Thank you very much, Judge.
You're welcome. All right. We'll
Thank
be
you,
in
Judge.
recess on York. Thank you, Ms. York.
Hey, Marty. How you doing, buddy? Hey, Rhonda! Rhonda, you made it! Thank you so much. Even if you're passed out right now out there someplace, the fact that you showed up for even 20 seconds after being in the ER tonight is freaking amazing. I can't believe you showed up. Thank you, Rhonda. This one has been dedicated to Rhonda, y'all. Rhonda had to go to the ER earlier tonight, and our hearts have all been with her. Been worried about her whole presentation. But for now, I'd like to thank Tori and Living Like a Cat for their contributions and their well wishes towards Rhonda also, because one of those was definitely a well wish towards Rhonda. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight. You know, we've come to the end of the show. I don't have, well, I have lots more. I have lots more I could put on, but I don't think any of us want to be here for another 2.5 hours. I really don't, because that's what we're looking at if I hit this play button, and I'm not going to do it. We're waiting until Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Simpson on Saturday. Come by 11 a.m. Central Time. That's noon Eastern Time. And I'll be here with some really interesting videos to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, come on by every night of the week at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll be here along with all of my friends in chat. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. I'm your Lone Wolf Usul. I'm your curator and I'm your producer for these here videos. And I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for hanging out. Have a good night. Oh yeah, we're redirecting over to Hutch after this. Hang out. Come on by. Say hi in chat.